and for the following 3 months. I'm Somaran. My team and I will be moderating the session today. Quick introduction for those of us who do not know IncubateHub. We at IncubateHub operate and manage open innovation, sustainability, digital transformation initiatives, and mandates for Fortune 500 clients or global Indian brands. We drive end-to-end programs for our clients to deliver projects and paid pilots. We predominantly focus on emerging technologies and Industry 4.0. Now, as a part of IncubateHub's team, I run, point, and lead the projects and solution deliveries. IncubateHub, as a part of this session, has been working closely with Singapore government's arm, which is Enterprise Singapore, to identify enterprise-ready and interesting scale-ups. Today's session is focused on FMCG, CPG, eCom, retail, logistics, and supply chain domain. Today, we will be showcasing 2 startups, which will be Enchanto and Stemly in that order. Additionally, please stay tuned for more such sessions, which we've planned as a part of the Singapore Innovation Connect in the following months. The format for today's session is it's a 30-minute per startup session, where 15 to 20 minutes, the team will walk you through their product solution offerings, their capability, use cases, case studies, etc. This will be followed by a 10 to 15-minute FAQ as per the time that we have left. The agenda for today's call, since it's a 30-minute connect, of course, the agenda is to do a quick showcase of these companies and have a basic understanding of their product solution offerings. The expected outcome of today's session and later. So if these companies that you'll be hearing today are of any interest, we would be setting up a one-on-one deep dive connect with you with these startups respectively in the following weeks. Before we start, quick logistics and basic sanitary checks. In order for you to connect with these startups after the session, in the chat, we'll be posting 2 things. First is information about the SPOC. So Mai and Manas, who's my colleague, their information, along with a Google form link. This you can use to fill out your basic information and just provide a slot so that we can get in touch with you and get you connected. Secondly, in case you want to get connected with more such startups, feel free to add to that. Lastly, for FAQs, feel free to real-time post your questions in the chat, or when the FAQ session starts, you can raise your hands, unmute, and start the conversation. So thanks a lot. Again, thank you for your time. All the very best to both the startups, and would want to introduce Enchanto. So Abhinav, all yours.
This connection to is over with slowly, but I think I can pay for myself.
Stop.
I would request everybody who's not speaking to be on mute. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Somaran, and thank you, IncubateHub, for giving us this opportunity. My name is Abhimanyu. Let me share my screen quite quickly. All right, great. Can you see my screen? Great. Yeah. All right, so my name is Abhimanyu. I'm co-founder and CEO at Anchanto. So what we are focusing here on today is basically enabling e-commerce selling and logistics operations. Today's presentation would cover like who we are, what we do, and quick success stories also of our customers, and also giving you an overview in terms of what problems we solve, as well as the products that we offer as part of this. So we are a global B2B SaaS company. We provide SaaS platforms to various different types of businesses, from brands to logistics companies to retailers to e-distributors to 3PL companies, right? So we basically cater to various different size and shape of businesses and different types of businesses. At Enchanto, we believe that the digital economy is growing, and of course, with the pandemic coming in, we have all seen that a lot of businesses have moved towards e-commerce, who were earlier shying away from getting into it. Not only that, but also the digital transformation has come in a lot in the last 1.5 years time, where a lot of businesses are looking forward to save time, save cost, how they can fast pace their onboarding and go live or go to market in different countries or on different channels, and how also they can optimize their overall operations. And that's where we come into picture, where we offer a whole new set of softwares, as we believe with all these changes and transformation happening. These businesses would typically need one or two or many more softwares which come with a modern technology architecture and helps them to basically integrate with different ecosystem applications. And that's what you typically see, that where we come into picture is basically ensuring that all these integrations come into one single panel for the businesses. I will detail a bit more about this in a bit. We have presence across multiple countries in APAC as well as, in APAC as well as in Middle East, growing into Europe, UK, and then next year our stop is basically United States. We do have presence in 9 countries today, where we operate as an independent or individual hubs or pods in a way, in terms of the execution. We started and our journey and headquartered in Singapore. That's where we started 10 years back. And we do have presence now in pretty much all these countries that you see here. Our complete development, our engineering team sits out of our India office. However, other than the engineering team, pretty much all the different functions, be it customer support, be it account management, customer success management, marketing, sales, it's all spread over in different countries for us. And they work independently as individual pods. We started with 4 of us initially, way back in 2011, with an idea that we build software, SaaS softwares of our own, which will give an enchanting experience to our customers when they use and when they run on our platform. And that's why, with that philosophy, we coined the company name also as Anchanto. Of course, today we have a pretty strong and wide senior management team, which takes care of different functions, different countries, in multiple locations, right? We are also backed by quite strong investors and VCs or corporates, I would say. Very first funding round came way back in 2014, the latest being last year in August, in the mid of pandemic, from India, when we raised $12.6 million. The unique thing which I want to point out here is 95% of our fundraising that we have done so far has come through our customers. And these customers are Transcosmos. It's a $1 billion Tokyo Stock Exchange listed company. Lux Asia, it's one of the large distributors coming in from United States and have a huge, large presence in Southeast Asia. Indonesia Telecom, through their venture arm, MDI, Mitra Digital Innovasi, and S India, which is a joint venture between Swiss Post and French Post. So these are the 4 customers turned investors for us, and which we see as a very, very unique combination as well, because these customers are using our product. They are paying subscription fees, hundreds and thousands of dollars every year, and then they have also decided to invest in us. So that gives a lot of pride also to us, because we see that they believed in the platform, they believed in the team, and they believed in the vision of the company as well. Of course, we do have a very diversified team. Today, we also focus also on a women to men ratio as well. Today, we are at 40% women to men ratio across the organization. Of course, somewhere it is almost 50%. In some cases, it is beyond 50%. And our target is to make sure that we cross 51% in terms of women's to men ratio in next year. Some of the benefits or what we bring on the table with our customers and partners is our domain understanding. We work with customers and partners in various different domains or industries, be it FMCG, be it electronics, clothing, or home decor, cosmetics. So ranges into various different industries or categories for that matter. Cross-domain implementations, again, the same platform can work in various different categories, as I mentioned. A very stable and steady product, and which also helps you to enable into different countries so that you are able to scale up at pace, so that the technology or the product doesn't become a barrier for you to scale in the region, right? So we have customers who started initially from one country, be it Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere in Philippines, and now they are using our platform in various countries. Some of the statistics that you see here, we today have like 130 odd integrations, various different systems that we are integrated with. And these systems are either marketplace channels. For example, in the context of Southeast Asia, it is Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, Q10, Tokopedia, JD, etc. In the Indian context, it is Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, Nykaa, etc., as well as Rakuten in Japan, Q10 in Japan, some of the South Korean marketplace integrations that we have done. Down south in Australia, New Zealand, we are integrated with the Iconic, Catch of the Day, Trade Me, The Market, etc. So that is the marketplace channels. Then web stores built on Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce, PrestaShop, and also some additional customized web stores where we have done integrations as well. Plus the last mile carriers, be it DHL, be it Ramax, and like in the Indian context, again, it will be Delivery or eCom Express. In the Southeast Asia context, it is Ninja Van or Black Arrow or other multiple 3PL companies. As well as integrations with some accounting tools like Xero and QuickBooks Online. So all these 130 odd integrations we bring in for our customers so that it makes it easy, and they get all that flexibility to choose from different systems where they want to connect and have that single view and single panel for them to operate from. We do also offer open APIs, 100+ APIs where our customers can also link up their systems. Today we have, if I see the current count, we have around 400+ warehouse implementations that were done, which is very specifically for one of our products. While I say that, there are around 14,000 odd channels, the online sales channels on all these different marketplaces and web stores are being managed by our customers. So we offer basically two different products, which I'll come to, and that's where these two statistics are coming from. An active user base of around 18,000 odd users across different countries, who are managing close to around 110 million listings across different channels in different countries, different geographies. As we speak, we are clocking around 10 million orders per month of volume that is being managed on our platforms, and the overall GMV, if I have to put it, would be around $3.7 billion of GMV that is currently being managed through our platform. 2 million+ warehouse rack locations, which is again across these different warehouses that are deployed. That's where our products are deployed on. So the problem that we solve here is basically, if you see the complicated e-commerce landscape or the ecosystem, which typically requires the businesses to integrate with multiple applications or multiple systems. Now, as you see here, a business is typically working with sales channels. Some of these are direct sales channels, which is their own web store built on various different technologies, as I mentioned earlier, as well as they have their physical presence, which is their retail stores, and they would be typically using any POS or RMS type of system or any other system which they typically use in their retail stores. On the other hand, the other sales channels for them are through various different marketplaces, and which is something which is very, very prominent in the Indian as well as in the Southeast Asian context, where a lot of businesses, many times they first start also from the marketplaces before launching their own brand.com stores. So what happens is typically all these different systems, they keep on evolving, they keep on changing their APIs, category structures. And then for these businesses to basically keep on upgrading, keep on integrating with all these different channels becomes like a fixed cost. It becomes like a fixed IT cost for them, where they have to manage a technical team. And then again, for them to build 100+ integrations will also take a lot of time and a lot of investment. That's where we come into picture with all these integrations in place, where we also basically integrate with their complex backend systems running on, could be through direct API integrations or SFTP integrations or EDIs. And these could be like SAP, various different versions of SAP, Oracle or Microsoft Dynamics, the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, etc. And typically these businesses, what the capabilities that they look for are order management, warehouse management, shipping carrier management, or integrations, product information management, PIM, or basically a catalog management and listing. And then of course, various different analytics and insights about how they are performing on different channels, their different categories, top performing products, stores, etc. Right? So a lot of insights that the businesses are looking for. So that's where we come into picture with a single product, which is of course integrated with all these different ecosystem applications or tools, where it makes it very easy for the businesses to connect whatever systems that they are currently working on, and then give them a complete unified dashboard of their end-to-end operations. So we are also integrated with, let's say, supplier systems, retail stores. So we also offer like omni-channel solution, so that you can connect your retail stores, make them as fulfillment centers and start fulfilling orders from there as well. Shipping carriers to have a visibility across your orders going out of your warehouse or locations till it gets delivered to your customers. So that's where we come into picture with two offerings from our side. One, which is Enchanto OMS, which focuses purely on the sales and order operations, and the Enchanto WMS, which is warehouse management system, focuses purely on the heavy lifting part of warehouse operations and logistics operations. So very quickly, Enchanto OMS sits as a middleware between your sales channels, and again, these sales channels could be your online or offline sales channels and your backend systems, right? So it helps you to basically orchestrate your catalog across different channels if it's on the online space. It helps you to maintain the common inventory across all different channels, so that you don't lose out on the fast moving channel, maintaining the inventory there. And again, synchronize channels, synchronize orders from various different channels into one single platform, so that it makes it easy to maintain the SLAs, printing shipping labels, updating order status, everything from one single panel. So you save a lot of time instead of logging into multiple channels, and do everything from one single panel. The second platform is Enchanto Warehouse Management System. It's again a full suite of B2C and B2B operations. So from one single platform, you typically run both the different processes. So B2C is very specifically for the online or e-commerce specific type of processes of order processing, and B2B is typically like the bulk or retail logistics, right? The warehouse management systems comes with everything that typically you would need in a warehouse management system, from inventory management, order management, dispatch management, everything. We also offer the mobile applications for all your warehouse processes that you can manage on the go on the mobile application. So typically, a lot of our customers have gone paperless, pretty much around 90-95% paperless operations after implementing our software. Both these platforms are built from scratch with hands-on experience. We used to run fulfillment center in the past. We did that for the initial 4.5 years of Enchanto in Singapore, doing it for various different customers and categories. Groupon was one of our large customers back then in 2014-15. So through that hands-on experience, we have built a WMS platform which enables for B2B, B2C, and various different categories. Be it for FMCG, be it for electronics or baby products, mother products, a lot of different categories, as I mentioned. Enchanto OMS, again, was built through hands-on experience where we were doing channel management activities for the likes of L'Oreal, Maybelline, Garnier, 3M, Ossify, Essilor, Orbis, so a lot of different brands. And through that experience, we had developed the Enchanto OMS platform. Of course, we no more do channel management activities. We no more run our fulfillment center. It is all passed to our customers and partners. And we are now a pure technology company. We also go through some tailored solutions for our customers. Typically, when they are looking for we having our system being one of the part of their ecosystem. So we also go with tailored solutions for some of the large enterprise or Fortune 500 companies as well. And this is already up and running. So as we speak, typically, as you see, like our products are focused around all these different applications or expectations from the businesses. On the warehouse management side, order management side, multi-channel catalog management. We're also working on the data platform, which will give you a lot more insights and decision-making capabilities. Of course, there are different dashboards today in the system. Shipping management across different shipping categories or shipping methods. A complete open platform with 100+ open APIs, and then of course an end-to-end system which will help you to manage your end-to-end operations. Some of the brands that are running on Enchanto platform on the left of this, again, this is not a full list, but it again varies from various different systems, various different businesses. You will see brands here like HP, Nestle, L'Oreal, Bench. Okay, Bench is not here. Skechers. So various different businesses, be it brands, be it Malaysia Post, for example, their complete e-commerce runs on our platform. Distributors like DKSH, Lux Asia, Waliram. So yeah, it cuts across various different categories. DHL e-commerce, their e-commerce operations for warehouse in Singapore is running on Enchanto platform. S India using our platform in various different countries. On the right-hand side is like some of the brands that are running on Enchanto platform and managed by our customers. So it's a wide category. We cut across, as I mentioned, different types of businesses, as well as different types of categories. Some global references who are running across different channels, different countries for many years on our platform. Sorry if I'm running late, just conscious of time.
Yes, I would request if we can shift through or take a few questions because we're almost out of time, but I'll leave it up to you. Yeah.
Sure. Yep, I think pretty much fine. Just wanted to touch upon very quickly in a minute on some of the success stories, like L'Oreal, who is currently using our platform in various countries in Southeast Asia. The challenges for them were like fragmented system. They are not having a rich insights of their consumers and a unified system which was lacking for them. So this is where we came into picture. Nestle is one of the large distributors in Malaysia. They were lacking automation, digitization, visibility in terms of the inventory or the right inventory, operational processes, and losing a lot of inventory as well as overselling. So that's where we came into picture with both the platforms being up and running at their warehouse. Lux Asia, again, they are using our platform across various different countries and running and connected around 220 odd stores in all these countries. And then DHL or S India, who are more like 3PL and logistics companies using our platform for various different purposes. So sorry for running late, but yeah, please feel free to connect with me. we do have a page on the IncubateHub as well, and you can connect with us from there. Happy to take any questions at this stage.
Super. Thank you for that, Abhimanyu. And we do understand it's a lot of things to cover. So quickly, I think there are two questions. Others, feel free to keep posting questions. Otherwise, we will get back to you or connect you. To start with, we have first question from Vishesh. Are OMS and WMS two separate product offerings, or is that one?
Yes, Vishesh. These are two different offerings. OMS typically helps in connecting and managing various different channels that you want. And of course, very specific to order management, various different configurations and settings that you're looking at and functionalities. Wherein for a WMS, you typically do not need a complete order management system. Of course, WMS comes with a OMS of its own, where you also have various different picking methods or packing methods. But yeah, these two are two different products. Of course, by default integrated, but yeah, we have customers who are using either of the products or both the products.
Thank you. We have another question. How it compares to Fluent Commerce in your opinion?
Okay, so I think Fluent Commerce is also offering more of on the web store side as well, wherein we are not focused on building any web store, or we are also not focused in managing any marketing content and for the customers. We are purely a product and SaaS product company. Today, we have a very strong presence in Southeast Asia, which I believe some of these like Fluent Commerce and other similar solutions are not able to reach to that level. Where, I mean, just to give an example, with some of the large marketplaces, we are the largest ISV for them, where we are running like millions of calls every day. So the scale at which our platforms are built and being used by our customers, I think that's where we come across unique.
Thank you. Another question from Axel is, what is the origin of OMS?
Okay, so OMS actually, as I was mentioning, we started with doing channel management activities way back in 2014 for the likes of L'Oreal, 3M, other companies. So through that, we realized that there is a big potential for a similar product. So we earlier used to call it as Channel Manager. Later, we rebranded it as Enchanted OMS. It also today, the Enchanted OMS also comes with a catalog management module or a product information management module. But however, in coming months, there will be a catalog management module which will be operating separately, and then that becomes in itself as an independent product. So some of our customers can actually only focus only on OMS, or they can also use a catalog management product as well. So yeah, pretty much making it simple also for our customers to pick and choose from various different options.
Super. I think this will be the last question. How does the CRM manage in case of missing parcels or delivery failure?
Okay, so we are not a CRM product, though we do connect with some of the CRMs. Typically, what happens is if you permit me quickly, Somarin, sorry for that. I just want to give a quick solution. So typically, as you see here, you have the channels that are connected with the OMS and WMS, and then there are various different systems which are integrated. So from the last mile or carrier perspective, since we are integrated with various different options, you can typically create the shipments directly on these carriers. They come to your location, pick the products or parcels, and then they go back. So all these events that are being captured from their system, they are recorded in the WMS as well as in OMS, and are also pushed to the sales channel from where the order has come in.
Got it. Thanks a lot. I think we have run almost out of time, but we have managed to stay on. For everybody who's great to see that people are wanting to directly get connected. So in the interest, just so that we don't miss out on anybody, we are again posting this information. it would be easier if you can just fill out this Google form, which is basically just 4 informations: your name, company, email, and contact, and a slot. Either we can communicate via email, or we will set up a connect, either or. But this will help us collate that information, and get back to you in time. So super. So the other questions that have been posted already and we have not covered, we will make a note. Again, would request if you can fill out the form, we will get that addressed or answered. Super. So thanks everybody so much. Please stay tuned. We will take maybe a quick 2-minute breather while we set up the next startup. Thank you so much, Team Enchanto, for the same, and looking forward to connect with you again.
Thank you, Somarin. Thank you.
Welcome.
And thank you everyone for participating and for your questions. We look forward to connect with you. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Sanjay, do we have Sanjay?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Sanjay, thanks a lot. You can quickly share your screen or however you want to get started. Before we do that, again, thank you, everybody. This is a long session. For those who would have joined a little later, I'll quickly give you a gist. This is the first of the series of sessions that we are doing as a part of the Singapore Innovation Connect. The first one was Enchanto. The second startup that we are showcasing is a curated startup. The name is Stemly. In interest of time, we have one of the founders, Sanjay, who will be taking over and walking us through. Quick sanitary checks again, so that we don't miss out. We are resharing our information in the chat. Please feel free to either post your questions real time or fill out that Google form so that we can take it ahead. Over to you, Sanjay. All the best.
Sure, thanks. Can I get started?
Sure.
All right, thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanjay Saini. I'm the co-founder of Stemly. And what we are doing is looking at large enterprises and providing decision intelligence for the enterprise. So how we are looking at it is we have built a SaaS platform, and there are two things which we do good. One is how we can improve the predictions and how we can do an appropriate allocation by running optimization, right? Now, one of the key things is that where do we focus on? So we focus on consumer goods, we focus on industrial manufacturing, retail, distribution. And the idea is that anybody who sells a product or moves a product across supply chain requires some kind of prediction and some kind of optimization, right? And that's what we do. We are very purely focused on that. The way we have entered the market is created a centralized forecasting and optimization platform. And there's a word called AutoML. I'll just talk in a second. So the idea here is that when we do machine learning or any other forecasting, typically what happens is that you need to tell which model we are going to run. But what we are building is an AutoML platform that can I put a model which can forecast better and look at different demand patterns and say, oh, if this is a demand pattern, it's intermittent demand pattern, use this particular model. Is it a fast running product? Use this particular model. So we're building an AutoML platform to kind of automate this process and remove human in the loop or data scientist in the loop so that we can get on doing the business, right? So at the center of piece is this forecasting. Then we have a very sophisticated optimization platform. The idea here is that there are changes which has happened in optimization when you used to run before. There are ML-based optimization, there are solver-based optimization, there are heuristics-based optimization, and we are actually looking at all three as an option depending on the problem which you're looking for from a product point of view, and enable different industries within this: manufacturing, retail, FMCG, and other companies, right? And currently our focus is this. Our pedigree comes from ING Bank, which we have kind of spun out from. And one of the key things we have learned is that, putting supply, demand, and finance together is a key to success in supply chain projects, as well as from a cash flow perspective in terms of managing the working capital. So we have quite focused on supply chain finance from that perspective. And the trifecta of supply, demand, and finance is what we look at. And hence we are able to showcase business outcomes in terms of savings in working capital or increase in revenues, depending on how we are forecasting and optimizing it. So very quick overview. I will not go into details. We bring the data from flat files or ERP. It can connect to a distributor management system or point of sale external data, which can come from weather or retail traffic, or images coming from footfall and so on and so forth. We bring that information, we process that data, and then we run different type of engines, be it forecasting engine, be it optimization engine to optimize, inventory optimization, production optimization, and so on and so forth. We have our own BI dashboards, so any visualization which you are looking for can be delivered, and then a recommendation engine that what should be the step which you should do, between the scenarios, right? Of course, we can do classification regression, which is a type of machine learning model to really cluster and see if you have, let's say, 100,000 mom and pop stores through which you're selling. Can I classify them? Can I automatically classify and say, okay, depending on the revenue, 5 lakh and above, we need to have different promotions for them. So those kind of classification and regression analysis can help you manage the process a little better, right? And then finally, we have the data science lab for customers who have already built some models and want to use that same models. We also allow that to happen. And then we have below, you have the shared services for collaboration. So we are not only forecasting, but also help you in planning aspect of the business and able to do a sales and operation planning, demand review process as well, right? Now, one key thing is that why AI now? I think most of you are already aware of it, but I thought I'll just take a second just to kind of talk about why now, because when I used to I come from a background of supply chain technology and came from shop floor. I started with Tata Steel, and then I moved into a supply chain domain in the industry. One of the key things, when I used to do demand forecasting is that we say, oh, don't go at the detail level, do the forecast at a weekly or monthly level, because the detailed data is hard, right? But now with machine learning, with cloud technologies, actually you can go at the detail level, find out what is the behavior of that SKU at that particular distributor, and look at what is the promotional impact of that. And that is enabled now with that data. Previously, we used to do shipment-based forecasting. Now you can actually do sellout-based forecasting. And if you have point of sale information, you can use that information as well, right? So things have changed now, and that's where the key thing. Second aspect is that we always used to use the ERP data for running our forecasting, but there are many more data which are available. You can actually use images, you can use videos, you can use weather data from outside, you can use social media data and bring that information. You can use Google queries, how they're happening, for pharma products. So all those things now are available to you, and you can actually try and test your hypothesis that, this makes sense or not. And if it makes sense, then how do I leverage it, right? So digitize and digitalization, I think everybody has heard about transformation which is happening, so I'll not go into detail, but few things from deep learning and GPUs are evolving, which means that I can actually process very, very large amounts of data in a very short period of time. And that's where the deep learning involvement comes in. And the other aspect, of course, is that now we have a lot of data in supply chain coming from sensors, be it replenishment, be it carts which are moving around in the aisle. You can use that information to really detect what the changes are happening, right? And I'll talk about a few examples as I proceed forward, but the idea is that these changes are causing things. But what do we do, right? So we leverage machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. We do unsupervised learning to understand, what are the demand patterns. We do supervised learning to understand what I need to do and what is the prediction based on the regression analysis, and machine learning automatically does that, looking at price, looking at the day of the week, and so on and so forth. And then finally, you have the reinforcement learning, where you say that, okay, this is what I had forecasted. Actually, this happened. Can I do a risk and reward analysis of that and say, if the machine learning did better, I give more points to it. If the human in the loop did better job, I take that information and use that and make a self-learning loop, so that you improve the forecast on a continuous basis. Now, sometimes you have to use one model, sometimes you may have to use multiple models. But the idea is that, machine learning has a gamut of things which can be leveraged upon depending on the type of problem you're trying to solve. And then this brings that, you can bring multiple data sets, it improves the accuracy. Now, one key aspect is that, sometimes people say, oh, I use statistical model, is it bad? It's not bad, it's good. But you can also use other models like machine learning models for certain scenarios. So you will see that Holt Winters does very well for trend and seasonality, but it doesn't do with correlation with other areas. So it's a combination of things which are required. It is not one is good, one is bad. You use a toolkit of ML and statistical models to improve your forecast accuracy, right? So that's the approach we take. Our mindset is not that ML is better than statistics. We see that how we can blend them together to give you a better answer. It is scalable and it helps you automate the process. And how can I achieve a low touch forecasting? And for example, when we're working with a very large FMCG company with 3,200 products which they are selling in Southeast Asia, one key thing is that typically when you work with demand planners, they will focus on top 200, and say that, okay, if I can manage the top 200 by Pareto analysis, I'll be in good shape. But can I use machine learning for the long tail items and help them and make it low touch, or only manage by exceptions rather than managing by finding it out where the problem is happening? So that's where you can see the automation can be helpful for those kind of items. And then of course you can have multiple level forecasting, which is, can I try to forecast at SKU level or SKU distributor level? If it's not, then can I do it SKU all distributor level? If not, then can I go at the product group, and so on and so forth, depending on the sparsity of the data which is there. So that's where ML can actually automate that process as well to generate the forecast. So this is what we do in demand forecasting. So we have done variety of projects in primary sales, secondary sales. We are doing really interesting project with e-commerce platforms. So we take the data. For example, we did a project in India where we took data from Amazon, Flipkart, Nykaa, and use that information to generate the forecast at the day level, including hourly promotions which were done for this particular customer. So this is an opportunity to look at e-commerce forecasting at a daily or hourly level, depending on what you're looking for, and use that information to then plan in there. You can use point of sale data if it's available from Future Group or Geo. You can use that information to feed that information. And then of course external data is again a critical aspect. Now what we have seen is that we are able to improve the forecast accuracy across the board by 10 to 40%, depending on where they are. So 10% is where they are. When they are at 80%, we have seen that we have gone to 90% and so on and so forth. And there are a lot of guys who are at 40%, we have gone to 80%. So a drastic shift in improvements in the forecast accuracy. And of course, then the second aspect is that you require less working capital because the buffers are lower because you have improved the forecast accuracy. The second aspect is that, can I help you in maintaining the right inventory at the right level in supply chain? So that's where the inventory optimization, multi-echelon inventory optimization will help you both to manage the safety stock as well as to manage the replenishment plans which can be generated. Now, haven't I done this before? The answer is yes, you're still doing it today. But here what we are doing is we are applying very sophisticated optimization tools, as well as looking at variability analysis based on machine learning to understand what can I feed on a continuous basis to an optimization engine to look at the variability aspect of it, because variability is changing continuously and I need to continue to improve my service level. So should I do it at 95? Should I do it at 98? What is the cost of doing that business is critical. And that's where we excel at in terms of managing the process. The last thing which is critical for a lot of companies is cash flow. And with the current scenario, a lot of people have that issue. Some of them have cash for surplus, some of them have cash shortages, so depending on what business you are in. But the idea is that, can I predict? Can I go at the invoice level and tell you that how the collections are going to happen, and how I can look at the payable side of things or expenses and see what is my short-term liquidity forecasting, what is my long-term cash flow forecast, which can be allocated to projects and merger and acquisitions, right? So that's where the cash flow. So for us, we see it all together. We take the AR AP data, we look at the sales history, look at the revenue forecast, convert that into look at the demand forecast, convert them into revenue forecast, look at the cost from AP and project it and see what is the cash flow which I require. Yeah. So having said that, these are the type of customers we have already worked with, and there are some more which I have not added. Is we have worked with cosmetics company for e-commerce forecasting. We have looked at direct sales companies. We have worked with food and beverage. for both primary and secondary sales forecasting. We have worked with beer manufacturing company or beer making company and whiskey companies. We have done optimization for a company which is in chocolate manufacturing, and and one of the good case studies for them is that we saved about $3.5 million on a particular plant in Indonesia, and then now they're going live on the second plant in Malaysia, right? So they buy a lot of coffee beans from Africa, process it, and then use that information. So there were write-offs which were happening, and the bean quality which deteriorates over a period of time they were not able to use it appropriately. So we have optimized that and able to give a procurement plan, a daily production plan, and a monthly production plan. One of the other examples is FMCG company, which we have gone live for doing demand planning. And we take the data from this, for example, this is a very large, one of the large FMCG company. They collect the data from Tmall, China. So we are helping them through collecting the data through web APIs from Tmall. And we use that information to look at what are the feedback, what is the favorite list, and so on and so forth. They also get the data on a daily basis, how the sales are happening. And we are using that to generate daily forecasts for them. We are also using that information to create replenishment plans from Hong Kong and Shanghai warehouse. And then we are also converting that into a production plan, which they are manufacturing in Australia. So end-to-end planning from e-commerce, and they primarily sell through e-commerce. So e-commerce forecasting, replenishment planning, as well as production planning, all through our application. Yeah. So these are a few examples which I wanted to share. And one of the last example I want to share is inventory optimization. So we actually worked with a mining company where we did spare parts forecasting for them. And for $140 million spend, we actually saved 20% of that in working capital. So about $28 million in savings for their working capital to reduce the inventory. They had high inventory levels, and I'm excluding the ones which are old inventory and so on and so forth. This is a new inventory which they are planning to buy. We were able to reduce by $28 million. So that's kind of the benefit which we are kind of seeing. So very outcome driven company, focusing on delivering value in terms of both improving the forecast accuracy as well as the optimization, both in terms of inventory, production, and replenishment is what we are focusing on. And we see a very good niche for us in certain areas like e-commerce forecasting and replenishment, because a lot of people have a good handle on distributor and point of sale where they are already been working. But I've seen some of the companies, looking for a certain solution for e-commerce side of things. So that we are already doing it. We have done it with large companies, and happy to kind of work with you. Yeah. So this is an example of how we improved the forecast accuracy. So we took the data of shipment, sellout, inventory, promotion, customers, product, and pricing. We ran machine learning through that. So when I say 300 plus features, basically it is talking about how daily demand, so the more demand movement is happening on a time basis, right? So it could be day of the week of the month, last day of the quarter, first 10 days of the month. So there are different types of features which are required. Then the price variation, absolute price deviation, percentage price. So based on the domain understanding for what we have built about 300 odd features, which helps us kind of accelerate the pace of going to the market and implementing this fast for our customers now based on what we have done so far. So we did a lot of models, and some of the times customer says, oh, we are using statistical. Can you tell me how machine learning can be better? We actually show them that as well and improve the plans, show them what is the difference between statistical model and ML model and what happens. So we have seen that some scenario statistics model work better, and a lot of scenarios where ML does good. These guys were at the world-class level. They were at 75 to 80% at daily level MAPEX. So this MAPEX actually is daily level, MAP for next 90 days. And we were able to improve that and showcase a lot of savings for them, right? A huge data set, 5.5 million data points with 2 countries and 4 distribution centers across 2 countries. And then we were able to generate a forecast for them, yeah. The other one is, so I already covered that. Good. So these are the examples I wanted to share. I don't know how much we are on time. If you have time, I can actually demonstrate a solution. Otherwise, I think we can straight away go into the questions. I can demo the solution on a one-to-one basis if required to be. So that's kind of a very quick overview of what we are doing and how we are going to the market. We did a lot of projects in India, and we are also doing a lot of projects in Singapore and Australia market as well. So let me take some questions. Happy to answer some questions, because this is subject with everybody is struggling with or doing something about it. So happy to take any questions on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Sanjay. Super. We are open for FAQs now, as requested. Please feel free to post your questions on the chat or share your email to get connected with the founders or the team. Sanjay, yeah, we have our first question. Can you detail on the key challenges of your approach towards the use of intelligence in SCF planning?
Intelligence in, sorry?
SCF planning.
SCF? Or is it supply chain finance, or is it supply chain?
Supply chain finance. Yeah, supply chain.
Okay. Yeah. So coming from the background of from ING Labs, so this was the first use case we were looking at from a supply chain financing point of view. So the way we have structured very interestingly is that when we do the cash flow planning, we collect the accounts receivable, accounts payable data. And when we do the cash flow forecasting, one of the things which we have done is, because of the bank, is that we have open APIs to banks to say, if you are looking for AR financing, for example, or if you're looking for short-term loans from a bank, or if you're wanting to get currency buying or selling directly integrated to the platform. So from that perspective, we are continuously monitoring the cash flows and giving an opportunity for recommendations that you should take a loan or do some AR financing. And then it can connect via API to various banks and manage the entire process. So that's where we are going from an integration. So currently we are working closely with ING Bank, but as you can imagine, people don't work with only one bank; they will work with many banks. So we can actually integrate with other banks to complete that automation process. So you don't have to send an email that I want a loan or something like that. It can be automatically, we can actually show you a list of banks, what are their interest rates and so on and so forth. And you can apply, and then it will shoot out a email to the bank team, and they can approve it directly online as well. So that's kind of how we are looking at the supply chain financing, both from, whatever bank products are applied for supply chain finance, be it AR financing, AP financing, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, there was a question on where does STEMLY comes from. So STEMLY comes from science, technology, engineering, and maths applied to daily, weekly data. So LY is the daily, weekly, the last two letters of that. So STEM is how we apply, science, technology. So we are scientists. We have scientists. We have PhDs in physics. We have PhDs in time series forecasting. We have PhDs in operation research. So that's where we come from, the background, because maths is critical when we have to solve these complex problems. Thank you.
While we are waiting for a few questions, Sanjay, you can feel free to, in case we don't have any immediate questions, to do a quick demo if you would like.
Sure.
In the meanwhile, again, participants, please feel free to ask questions or reach out to us either.
All right. So I don't know who are part of this way, but I have taken the liberty of taking Pepsi data and build. If Coke is there, I'm really sorry. I also have a Coke demo also, but I'm just taking one of them to kind of showcase a demonstration. So for our demand planning, the idea is that we will take the actual information, by brand, by category, where are the stores which are. So this is the data for stores, how they are moving in volumes at different areas. Of course, volume by product, which of them are doing well, which stores are doing well. and how the product flows, from a dairy product or, muscle. So for example, muscle milk has different products, and then how it is going to various stores. So the idea is that to understand which one are important, and this is actually helps us creating the features which are critical. And similarly, for brand and store, so how does Aquafina sell to other stores, right? So this actually is the starting point for us to understand the data, and the data can come from ERP and external data, as I pointed out, into this application. And it helps me to understand what's happening behind the scenes. I can do a little bit more analysis and understand how does the data look like at a high level from a dairy, juices, and soft drinks. And I can drill down by product, for example, and see how the behavior of that particular product is. So you can see that the visualization is already available to see the information. I can see what is the category share, what is the brand share, and this becomes a feature in my example. Now, what we have learned is that a lot of our customers have product attributes and customer attributes. So can I use those attributes like size and color and so on and so forth, and use that information as part of machine learning? And it is quite helpful. We have seen that these categories, actually, these attributes kind of help us to load the data and use it for analysis purposes. Now, sometimes you have this information, sometimes you don't have. One case study we were doing was that we work with a luggage manufacturing company, and they said, oh, we don't have this detail level attributes. So we look at the pictures of that and pictures of the product, and then derive attributes of that is a soft leather or hard leather, and created that information and then use it for machine learning purposes. So you can see there are multiple approaches. As I pointed out, that you can start with unsupervised and go to a supervised. That's kind of how you can look at the problems and analyze that. Then you go to the various plans, and these plans basically, then you can have our demand review process, which is annual demand plan, and so on and so forth. So I can actually come up with a plan where look at the information in terms of what my actuals has and what is the forecast which have been generated. So you can see that I have a couple of forecasts which are generated, AI and statistical forecasts, because a lot of time people ask that information. So I can generate those forecasts. I can look at the data at different levels. So for example, I want to look at this product, which is, or maybe I just use another store level information and use that information to say, I want to view only this information. So if the data is there, it will show me that how the sales is happening for that. So this helps me understand the data. I can look at the data at different levels, and also I can make any adjustments. So there's a sales historical, and then what is the statistical forecast generated, what is the AIML forecast generated, what is the DP demand planner input. Now here I can actually change the data. For example, I think it will be 40 units. I can apply that data. I can add a comment saying that change to 40 due to promotion. And I can post it. Now this comment which I have put in is also available for people to look at, that where at which level I change, and who has changed it, and so on and so forth. So these comments now can be used from a collaborative standpoint to various now this helps me understand what is the data which is changing. I can have many models which are there, so you can see the results of few models which are here. Similarly, so the idea is to make it simple for the business users to kind of do these things. Then I can look at the consensus plan. So I can take inputs from sales team, the commercial team, as well as marketing team, and generate a consensus plan based on that. So here I get an opportunity to change at the consensus level when we are discussing it during the demand review process. So I can make the changes at a higher aggregation level, and it will automatically disaggregate to the lower level from that perspective. And then finally, you bring that all together. So consensus plan is there. Now, the way we are there, you can create as many plans as possible. You can create a replenishment plan, a production plan, and behind the scenes, there are optimization engine, which will pick it up and run these models and generate those plans, right? So that's kind of how we have kind of modeled it. The other things which are important to understand is that I can create lag series. I can create display, what is the reference time series for calculating the disaggregation logic. I can create my own time series, and I can apply, for example, I can do a formula, and I can define what is a formula. So price times volume is revenue. I can decide that also. So it's a very flexible tool to manage the entire process of generating a plan and using that information to create different types of plans, collaboration between various users, and generate forecast, generate optimization, and show it. So that's very quick demonstration of the solution, how we have thought about it and how we are implementing at our customers. So hope that is useful. Happy to take any questions.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. We have two questions. One was from Arshia. Have you worked with any home improvement company, retail tech?
So retail, we have worked with retail as such. So we worked in India for a retail company where they have 450 odd stores. So we took their data and we did demand forecasting for them. So from a retail point of view, that's what we have done. We are actually working with two companies, one in Philippines, which is a home. So they sell fresh meats and fresh vegetables online, and they are looking for a solution how they can use our solution, one for optimization, that how can I buy from suppliers at the lowermost cost with the least amount of lead time. So that's what we are doing, and that's the integration with NetSuite. We are also NetSuite partners, so to say, or Oracle partners. So we have integration to that, and we are leveraging that. The one which we have not started is a very big retailer in Indonesia, which is 1,000 stores. So they only have one central distribution center through which they supply to all the web commerce and mobile are done through that. And now they're moving towards creating the different stores as fulfillment centers. So there will be 60 stores which are getting converted into fulfillment center. And they want us to kind of look at where the order is placed at the zip code level, and then see which is the nearest store from where they can fulfill and apply that. So that's kind of how we can go down to that level of detail at the event level and give you what is the right fulfillment strategy you need to apply for, both from prediction point of view, and if the prediction is good, then from a execution point of view, that what is the right approach you need to do that. So those are different use cases which are there from a retail point of view that we are working on. So one of my group is about 10 to 12 months startup, for instance, flexible and compact home furniture. Already doing good on the yeah, so definitely because as we can see that the e-commerce team are very focused on selling these goods via their fulfillment and distribution, etc. But what is missing is that understanding of how best to apply supply chain principles, first principles to those things. So we can happy to kind of put a simple process to start with, and then we can go for more sophisticated approach in terms of how we can fulfill from different warehouses. So to your answer to MV Synergy, I think that is definitely, that's what we are doing with this Philippine business as well. Exactly that. Yeah.
Great. I think apart from getting your solution deployed, good to see that you're also getting mentorship opportunities on the call. So that's good. So super. Thanks everybody. Thanks Sanjay for taking out the time. Do understand that we're slightly over time, but I think we are right on point. Again, while we have shared our information, the whole agenda was 20, 25, 30 minutes are not enough always to cover everything. So having said that, more than happy to set up a one-on-one connect with Sanjay. You have his email address, or you have ours, either or. So whatever works, feel free to write to us. They have been working really hard, and looking forward to set up a follow-up engagement moving forward. So thanks everybody for your time. Anything else, Sanjay, that you might want to add?
Great, look forward. So just to add, we are working with very, very large companies. Most of the companies which are my current customers, paying customers, are all $10 billion in annual revenues. So happy to work with companies which are growing, as well as large companies which are looking for a global solution. Yeah, so that's where we know how to work with large companies. I come from that background, and happy to kind of look at the problems which you are facing, be it in e-commerce, be it in secondary sales. Happy to get engaged.
Super. Thanks Sanjay. Thanks everybody for your time. Stay safe, and looking forward to connect again. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.